Superior attack!
Welcome back to Superior Tech. If you don't know what this is about, then I'm not doing my job right. Hopefully I can get it done this time, right? So stick around, maybe we'll figure it out. We are going to be looking at Mercy today. If you are also wondering what the skin is, this was the breast cancer awareness skin where you donated, I believe, like $15, and the proceeds went to breast cancer awareness. It is no longer available, so that's why you may be wondering, well, where did Respecugnize get that skin? Yeah, I bought it, which means I'm better than you. No, I'm joking, but I'm not. So this is Superior Tech. I am Respecugnize, and this is Mercy. So Mercy here, that's not creepy because she's a cute girl, right? I mean, if someone else said that, it would be weird. So Mercy is part of the current healer meta. It is basically her and Zenyatta are pretty much your primary heals. The slight difference between the two in that Mercy is arguably better at healing multiple targets and has a resurrection, whereas Zenyatta is kind of like a single target healer. It takes him a little longer to heal, but has a much higher damage output himself, and because of his ult has the ability to kind of keep a whole team alive and win the game. So it's going to be one or the other. We're going to start with Mercy here. So looking at primary fire, we have Caduceus' staff. It is a beam weapon with a tether. It will heal 60 health per second. It has a maximum range of 15 meters. And as long as you keep your finger on that primary fire, it's going to go ahead and continue pumping out the heals. It will help you build ultimate charge at 4 points of ult for every 5 points of healing that you do. So you can build ult pretty quickly with that. On secondary fire, you have a damage boost. So primary fire is going to give you a yellow beam. We'll look at it at the firing range, of course. Alternate fire, your staff's going to spin the other way and do a damage boost. You are going to boost 30% of the hero's typical base damage while that boost is active. It has the same stats as far as distance, 15 meters. The duration, same thing. As long as you have your finger on it, it's going to do it. And you will only get 2 points of ult for every 3 damage that the character you're boosting is doing, but they're going to do more damage, so you're going to build ult with that pretty quickly also. So that's going to be your main thing that you're always going to have out. You're going to be healing and boosting damage. If you scroll or hit 2, you will bring out Caduceus' blaster. I don't remember in any mythology hearing about Caduceus having a blaster, but apparently he does. So it is a linear projectile, meaning it is not hit scan. So that bullet actually has to move through space. As you can see, it's pretty slow, but the damage is 20. It is pinpoint. The projectile speed is 40 meters per second, so you can dodge that thing pretty easily. The rate of fire, 5 rounds per second. And there's 20 rounds in that magazine there. The reload time is 1.5 seconds, and it can headshot. So just jamming on that button, that's about all you're going to get out of it. It's a situational weapon, but it will automatically reload when you have the staff out. See, it's reloaded. So we'll go over the differences in all of this when we get down to the range, but let's look over the rest of the kit, which actually I'm wrong because we're going to have to go down to the range to use it. On left shift, we have Guardian Angel. It is a movement boost. It will increase your movement to 20 meters per second. It has a maximum range of 30 meters and a cooldown of 1.5 seconds. It allows you to go to a allied hero. You can see that we have this nice square around our allied hero, and left shift is at the bottom. You simply hit left shift, and we're going to go over to wherever we are highlighted. And so that is actually going to bring us to E once this guy dies. Once he dies, please die. There we go. Okay, so on E we have Resurrect. It has the ability to restore a allied hero to full health on use once they fall. The movement speed for you is a reduction by 75% while you're casting, so you become very, very easy to kill, and we're going to get to that in the how to play. The maximum range is 5 meters. The casting time is 1.75 seconds, which is forever. The cooldown is 30 seconds, which is also forever, but you can imagine the ability to bring someone back to life. We cannot allow that to be spammed for balance reasons. It does not give you any ult charge while you're using it. So, basically, you will use left shift to get to where you need to get to a hero, because you're the main healer. And then, of course, E allows you to pick up someone that you were ignoring while you were healing someone else, or to cover the fact that you were not doing a good job healing. You could say, oh man, I knew I could resurrect you, so not a big deal. And then everyone's happy. We'll look at her passives really quickly because we're almost to the ult. So you actually have two passives for this character. Regeneration, which is your self-heal. So after not taking damage for 1 second, you will do 20 points of healing to yourself per second. So you don't need a healer for your healer. That would just be ridiculous. And Angelic Descent, it is the ability to slow your fall by hitting spacebar. We're going to just go up here and jump off, and we'll show it. So when you normally jump, you fall at the same rate as everyone else. And thank God there's no actual fall damage in the game, because we'd all be dead, right? But if you press spacebar and hold it, then you get to float down like Princess Peach in Super Mario Bros. 2. So now we're going to put all that together and actually how to play the character before we just get to the ult and finish this. So we'll let these guys get up and take some damage. So left primary shift is going to be your heal beam. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You're just holding this. Now let's look at the distance we actually get with this beam. Okay. Right about here, we're going to cut out. So, as you notice, there's pretty good distance on this character, and this is what I want to get to. You do not have to actually be looking at the character you're healing once you are healing them. So that distance on there, 15 meters, it's pretty relaxed on that. So our character is about 15 meters away from this character now, and if we back up until it breaks, okay, we're past 15 meters. I'm left clicking and I can't get back to it, right? So let's break it again. All right, I'm moving forward. Notice that I'm moving forward and I have my finger on it. You can see because the staff is spinning. Okay, that's 15 meters. This is not 15 meters. And see, I've backed up. You can actually get a little more than 15 meters out of it, but an important thing is I don't have to continue line of sight to that target. I actually have about 1.4 seconds in which I don't have to look at that character once I get a certain degree arc. So, see, I'm going to break line of sight. and I'm still connected. It's not until I get way over here that the 1.4 seconds actually starts. So about here, we're going to have the 1.4 seconds. So you see, I'm able to actually turn completely around. And so a good Mercy knows that they don't actually have to be looking at this character to continue to heal, which will allow you to protect yourselves from those remaining pesky Genji and Tracer players who just don't understand that that meta is dead. But if the other team is doing picks for meta or counter meta, meaning they notice that you do not have a Brigitte in the back line to protect your healers and your other auxiliary characters, your support characters, then you don't have to fall prey to those Genjis and those Tracers getting the back line, because you can continue to heal and not be looking at what you're healing. Everyone thinks that you have to line of sight these characters because there is a 1.4 second break if you get behind, let's say, a wall. Let's say we break true line of sight. See, there's 1.4 seconds that we have before it breaks. But line of sight, it's not true line of sight because you don't actually have to be looking at them. So I can just be doing this, and as long as I know the general direction that they're moving, let's say we're going to get from here to over there, I can do this and walk backwards to where we're getting it, so that I'm not getting killed. So the same thing is gonna apply when we're in damage boost. And so there's the damage boost. I like how the robot laughs because he knows he has damage boost. So damage boost is going to be very similar to the same thing, where we don't have to keep true line of sight. We just have to keep technical line of sight. Let's move behind this one. See, and so the same thing. Alright, now let's go to the actual real tech of moving around with this character, because look, the same rules apply as far as World of Warcraft and everything else, any other game, MMO. If you kill the healer, the tank will die. If the tank dies, the DPS dies. If the DPS dies, then everyone is dead and it's over. That's the way you dismantle a team. Once again, not to talk crap about them. If you think I'm wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about, one, you can talk to any MMO player. Two, if you want to be more specific to this game, all you have to do is go look at Shanghai Dragons. Percentage-wise, their support characters die way more than anyone else, any other professional team in the league, which is why everyone wants to talk about language barrier and politics and all of that. No. The fact of the matter that Shanghai never protects effectively its healers, its supports, is why their team just has not won any games. So Mercy is the target with the biggest bullseye on her, or should be if you're actually playing this game correctly. Everyone should be immediately trying to focus Mercy to get her dead or Zenyatta dead. But Mercy is a little easier than Zenyatta because Zenyatta's a hardened target, and he also has the ability to defend himself a little easier than Mercy. So Mercy does have the Caduceus gun, but honestly, if the target that you're healing or boosting is competent, a boosted hero will do more damage than you will with Caduceus' staff, because one, this thing takes forever to get to a target. I mean, that's some travel time. You can see that coming, and because of the rate of fire, you wouldn't be able to, let's say, trace a character that's moving. See, I mean, I'm barely doing it with the way that one's moving. But a target that's actually moving at speed, or anyone that has a movement boost, you're not going to get those consistent headshots with that because it takes so long to get there. All they have to do is pause or stutter or jump, and basically you're wasting time. I will be honest, the best place to ever use Caduceus staff is when you're in a pharmacy with Farah, and we'll get to that, what exactly pharmacy is. But if you're in pharmacy versus another pharmacy, or versus a solo Farah on another team, Caduceus' staff is probably about the best time to use it, because it's going to be a little more difficult for most players to get rocket direct hits. Farah versus Farah, you can jump off of the pharmacy. You can use your passive float, your angelic descent, to kind of get some headshots on Farah. Farah does not have a lot of hit points, and the same thing. Even though Mercy is not going to be as mobile as Farah, most Farah players cannot get direct hits on a character that is moving through space. I've seen pros do it, and really good players do it in contenders, but the average player, even in competitive, is not going to be able to get those rocket hits. So you can stop healing your Farah and get those headshots and take that Farah out, especially if no one is going to switch to a hit point character, a hit scan character like a soldier or a McCree to go up against an enemy Farah who's just wreaking havoc. So let's get back to the movement suite. So left shift is going to give you the ability to get to heroes that you need to get to quickly, and it barely has a cooldown. It's 2 seconds from when you let go, not when you initiate. So when the movement stops, either because you let go of left shift or because you've gone your maximum distance, it's going to get that 2 seconds, and that's pretty good for movement. So one of the other ways you can use it is to get out of trouble. Let's say we're down here, and here comes the enemy. We can simply left shift out of there and get to where we need to get to. Also, if you're going to have an environmental kill because someone's popped you off of something, you can use that angelic descent spacebar is your default, whatever your jump is. You can use that angelic descent and hold for a second and call for a teammate to get to the edge, and you can simply left shift out and get to them. The other thing left shift allows you to do, if you time it with your angelic descent, is you can catapult. So I've hit there, you can see we moved consistently faster. Here's left shift by itself. You can see we kind of start to slow down at the end, whereas with an angelic descent, we maintain that velocity all the way to the hero that we need to get to, and there's the vector. So you're probably going to be using that to get out of trouble, but also in that oh crap moment, I didn't heal someone, and so I need to get to them to get the heal. And of course, you're just once again letting everyone know, yeah, you know, I totally knew I could get there, man. I'm a good healer, and so I'm just healing everyone. And then, you know, I knew I could just left shift to you and get the heals. So the other thing it does, of course, as you can see, I'm moving back and forth between this character. I'm trying right now to avoid getting headshot by McCrees and Widowmakers and things like that, and moving around so I'm not getting Farah splashed. Because once again, never underestimate how much everyone wants to kill you while you're playing, and how much you need to stay alive because you cannot heal while you're dead. And so while you're dead, no one else is getting healed and no one is getting resurrected. So we'll go over a resurrection right here, and when and where and how to use that. So the resurrection is going to pick this character up. We just press E. You can see we're not moving very fast while we're doing it. That hero is going to come up, and for 2.25 seconds they're going to be invulnerable. It is important that when you use your resurrection, because it does have a 20-second cooldown, because you move so slow during it, and because it makes that noise, you have to be very smart when you use it. A lot of people have this oh crap reaction to a hero dying. You know, they're like, oh, a hero's down and I'm a healer and I don't want people to be mad, and I want to do my job and I want to get my points. So I feel that I need to get everyone up and things like that, because when you resurrect, it effectively changes the stats. So it does not give the kill to the other team. That character never died truly because they were resurrected. So everyone wants to try to get in there and get that resurrection off immediately. You need to pick who you're going to resurrect. So if you have a team that's starting to fold and you have multiple heroes down, you need to pick the most effective hero to get up for what's going on. Tanks should take priority over DPS. Heals should take priority over tanks for the most part. So if you're not playing one of those fun modes like Unlimited or Anything Goes where you can have multiples of characters, let's say you're running 2 healer meta, you may want to pick up the Zenyatta before the tank, especially if they have ult, meaning he can do Transcendence and heal the whole team. But you pretty much always want to pick up a tank before you want to pick up a random DPS. You want to pick up the counter DPS before you pick up a random DPS or perhaps an off tank. So if you have a McCree that you're using to lock down a pharmacy or a solo Pharah, then you need to do that. You need to pick that character up. So you have to. A good healer is very smart about who they pick up and who they're healing and their priorities. So the last part is we'll get to our ult, which is Valkyrie. It is a chain damage and chain healing ult. You're going to press Q. Your movement speed goes to 9 meters per second. You hover, and so you're always up, and you can just kind of wazd around and use your mouse to aim in the directions you want to go. Your projectile speed is 80 meters per second. You now have unlimited ammo. It lasts for 15 seconds, and it takes 1,950 points to build that ult. She will be able to extend the range of her staff by 2 times. So we had 15. That means now you have 30 on it. And whenever you use your Caduceus' staff to heal, it will split off to nearby enemies. And the same thing with your boost. Your damage boost, it'll split off. So it gives you the ability to heal your whole team at once, not the passive way with an AoE that Zenyatta does, but it does allow you to heal your whole team. It does allow you to boost your whole team as long as they are within the area of effect range for your primary target, which is going to be 30 meters. So we don't really normally I would show it with an area like that, but we're just going to do it up here with all our friendly bots. So here we go. We're up in the air. We're going to float and see our damage boost, our heal boost. You can see that faint stream. If we have more friends down there, it would do the same. And around the reticle, it shows the time amount, and we can hear it come to an end with all our fairy princess noises. So with some of the other terms that I've used multiple times, if you have a Pharah and she is up and she's very good at using her left shift and her space bar and her E to stay up in the air, using your left shift, your guardian angel, you can get up to her, and pressing the space bar to do angelic descent, you can catapult up to her, and then you can hold your space bar to kind of float around, wait for the 2-second cooldown on your angelic descent on your guardian angel, and then you can left shift to her over and over again, because your name is Mercy and her name is Farah, and the double entendre of you healing, that is what's called pharmacy. So whenever you hear in chat someone says there's a pharmacy or we need a pharmacy, that is the combination of Farah and Mercy, Mercy pharmacy, and it is completely deadly. Now, what most people do is they'll left shift in spacebar to stay with her and try to stay above her and high, and they continue with a healer. That's only half of the suite. Understand that direct hits with a boosted Farah will one-shot most characters that are below 200 health, so the Genjis, the Tracers, the things like that. But with a 30% boost to her splash damage, you now start to do some pretty decent tank damage to divas. It will start to kill within multiple rockets most of our DPS, our McCrees, our Soldier 76s, etc., etc. So that damage boost on characters like a McCree become deadly. A Soldier 76 using his ult, which is Tactical Visor, becomes very deadly when he has Helix rockets going and auto-hitting, basically. Farah, all the time with her damage boost, will give you the ability to do a lot of damage and things like that. So, with the way the mechanics work, if Farah fires a rocket and then you start to damage boost her, that rocket that was already fired will also be damage boosted. They just give it to you. The other thing to note about Caduceus's blaster is it does give you the ability to shoot Torbjorn, it allows you to shoot his turrets if you're in the right position, because I've never seen the turret fire 100 or 90 degrees straight up. I've never seen it. It doesn't mean it can't be done. I've just never observed the turret snap completely up. So if you're over it or at a great enough angle, then you should be able to use your angelic descent space after getting up to a Farah. You should be able to get above it and then just aim down with your gun. And since the turret is not going to move, you'll just be able to get those shots. So that's Mercy. She is a quintessential healer. You're going to need one. Sometimes we run with just Zenyatta, depending on the team. If we feel that we're a lot stronger than the other team and we don't necessarily need to keep up with the damage, because once again, the way Zenyatta works is he really heals a single target and then he has to find another target, and then there's some projectile involved in it and the healing rate's a little slower. Mercy's able to go back and forth and heal a little better. So a good Mercy player will stay alive and knows how to move around to not be targeted. Also, because of the damage boost that she does, she is a very good weapon, and your choice between her and Zenyatta is going to be very situational. It's going to have to do with map and the other team's composition. So if you're going to heal, learn how to use her, and hopefully this will give you some information on what you really need to be doing as far as picking your targets correctly, especially for your resurrect and the ability to use your left shift and your space bar and Valkyrie to stay alive. So if there were any mistakes I made, or if there's a change that I did not notice, then give me a message. Send someone to tap me on the shoulder, whisper in my ear, hopefully seductively, that I got something wrong. Send me a PM, a text, a message, everything. That's why you guys follow. That's why you sub if you're very nice. And I will try to get back in here and change the information. Just be patient, because I'm not the best player. I'm just trying to get there. Everyone have fun, guys.
Respecugnize game when I get on the move. Respecugnize game on Twitch and YouTube. Respecugnize, we the cool for the new and old school. I'ma show you how to it when I do it so smooth. Respecugnize the truth, respecugnize the new. Online game time, game on to group. Overwatch the PUBG, shooter stats.